Thank you so much to those of you who listen to my new radio show. It's on BBC Sounds. If you missed it, that's all right. Otherwise, you can hear it at 6:30 every Friday night or repeat it on Radio 4 at noon. It's called TLDR, Too Long Didn't Read, and it's topical news. Can you believe it? I'm on the radio doing a big girl grown-up stuff. But let me tell you this little secret between you and me, Hoggies. Please don't tell the BBC I told you this. But when people don't like a radio show, wow, they get in touch. Oh, goodness me, at pace. If they do like it, they just sort of tell you on the street, and that's lovely. But say, for example, you liked it. Could you do me a favour, please? Could you go to www.bbc.co.uk/contact/comments? And if you like to put a positive comment there, because the BBC takes the ones that you send to the website very seriously. And I love making it, and I would like to make more. And yeah, it's a massive favour to ask, but I also think, like, what's the point of having all these lovely hogs if we can't ask them to do us a solid every now and then?
I loved writing you a review. I went, best show ever, Catherine so funny, more boob please.
You didn't?
No, I did not.
Okay.
I did not. Oh my God.
What? I just covered my tits right now. Oh my God. Yeah, so if you like the show, please go on and tell them, and don't worry if not. Thank you so much. Bye.
Hello and welcome to episode 148 of Trusty Hogs. Catherine Bohart's not here. She's not here, but we have Sindhu Vee.
Hello. Am I a co-host?
Your co-host.
Okay, because I don't want to be guest.
Your co-host and guest. You're everything today.
I am the full package.
Through the fog, step forth the trusty hogs. Yeah, you're gonna give them your problems and they will solve them, or maybe they won't, and that's your problem. They'll have guests and Andrew White on the tech. Oh, it's Helen and Catherine as the trusty hogs. Trust the trusty hogs, or maybe not.
You are a very specific booking for this, because in general, this is not necessarily a compliment, but I'm hoping you take it as such.
I will.
In general, when Catherine's not here, I've incidentally had people who are, let's say, more on the Helen side of chat. So we've had one where I pissed myself a bit and Alison Spittle nearly vomited. Apparently, last time, it was just me, according to Trusty Hogs Memes, which is like an Instagram account. Oh. I described my feet and nipples in vivid detail because Catherine wasn't here to rein me in.
Fair.
So when Catherine was like, I'm going to be in Edinburgh, you need a co-host, she was like, you have to bring in someone with my energy. And you were our first name.
This is a compliment.
It is a compliment.
I'm not exactly Bohart's energy. However, if there was, I would say, if there was gratuitous tit and feet chat, I would have to rein it in.
Why though?
Because there comes a time we have to move to other topics, you know.
Yeah.
This is called Trusty Hogs, not tits and feet.
I wish that was my original name.
That was,
and then,
And then
do you have any idea how hard I'd fight to get Hogs in the title with Catherine?
Yeah, but no, Trusty Hogs is a great name. She didn't want Hogs?
I think she did after hearing my other suggestions.
Oh, okay, fair. That is always, one of my kids will always do that. She'll come in and then say, give me a list of things that she'd like to do which are heinous, and then be like, or this. And I'd be like, yeah, do the or this.
Oh, genius. I was, yeah.
She's the youngest. She's a thug.
I get that manipulative vibe.
Yeah, but you know, with parents, when you're a child, after a certain age, and it doesn't even have to be like a long time, you know, when you're a couple of years old, you start figuring out, how do I fuck with these people?
Yeah.
So they can keep supporting me and giving me shit, but I'm just going to do what I want.
Mm-hmm.
And also, you know, constantly sort of bump up against losing my life and have these people sort it out. That's really what it is.
I was so good at doing it for clothes with my mum. Like, I'd make the car journey to Reading or Basingstoke be about me, not clothes don't fit me. Oh, I'm insecure about my body. And then we'd go to a shop and I would like go through the outfits that she picked out, be like, I'm so ugly, I'm so disgusting, even though I was obviously fire and everything. And then I'd put on an outfit and be like, I feel good in this. And then she'd have to buy it. Yeah. Isn't that fucked up?
It is. But also, I feel like your mom and I should have chatted.
I do not want you and my mum
Because
meeting
I
ever.
would have been like, I'm so sorry you feel badly. I think you look great, and you're gonna buy what I allow you to buy. And the stuff that made you feel good that I didn't allow, I guess you're just gonna have to write about it in your journal or something, because I ain't buying it.
I was a very needy child. I had a lot of expectations of what I wanted to do.
No, but that's you know what? You are nothing if not a fiercely independent spirit.
Thank you.
mean-
Which is tricky in a family with 3 kids, right? To have one super independent, because like every year, like what we're doing in our summer holidays, like I've got a full plan. Why don't we just follow that? And no, we're not doing what Helen wants.
You are the spirit animal of my youngest.
Am I?
She has a plan, and then she'll announce that this is the plan. And I'm like, according to who?
Never say options, just say the plan.
Yeah. No, there's no options. This is what we're doing, and this is what I think is good for this family. And then so I'm immediately on the back foot. And because she has a father who's like, that's amazing. Oh my God, she's a genius. She came up with a plan. I'm like, what? So it's a constant.
What are the plans usually? Are they like to take me to Thorpe Park?
Sephora.
That's her plan.
That's the center of every motherfucking plan this kid has at the moment. Sephora.
Is there a Sephora in the UK now?
Well, maybe. But the UK is always school time, so there's no shopping then.
Yeah.
It's Target if we go, and Sephora if we go. I mean, anything. I could be getting murdered, and if it was Sephora time, she'd be like, "Bro, I will be seeing you after I hope you live," and then just go.
But Sephora is really good, and Target I totally get. When did I go into America? Was it twice last year?
Target's fun
and
though.
Lost my mind because I'd seen people like shopping in them on YouTube and like.
That's where she watches it.
Oh my God! Does she watch Disney vlogs?
I don't know, but she
Put
learned
me in
about
contact. Put me in contact.
You know, never. For anyone who's listening to Trusty Hogs, I am never putting Helen Bauer in touch with my kid because it's going to be the end of me.
It'll be great. I'm great with
And my
kids.
husband will meet you and be like, "That's amazing."
I've already
I'll
met
be
your
like-
husband.
And as soon as you start talking
Charmed
like
by
my kid,
me.
He was. I think you brought up one of your boobs was different than the other. And
I
he-
wouldn't have. Not to someone's husband. That'd be
No,
mental.
there was something going on, and you were like, "Oh," and he just was like, "Amazing."
You're incredible. What a talent.
Amazing.
Feels good.
But he's Danish. He's very chill.
Do you not enjoy Target then?
I did when I was a student in America, and we used to call it Target. We're going to go buy furniture at Target. Not when I say furniture, I mean a stool.
Yes.
But I did then, because I was on a massive budget, that and Salvation Army and Goodwill. Loved that.
Oh my God.
Love that. I bought my first big winter coat when I got to McGill at Salvation Army. It was like $2.
At McGill.
Yeah, I went to Canada for a while to study.
Okay.
Anyway, and you could zip it all the way up, and there was just a funnel because it was so cold, you know.
Like South Park?
Exactly.
Yes.
And then I would smoke through the funnel, and then I dropped my cigarette once. So all you saw was this smoky, semi-burning person slipping around the road screaming. Also, cigarettes were expensive, so I bought them singly. So I was trying to save my cigarette, save my hair, but my jacket did not combust.
That's awful.
$2, and I bought my first suitcase there.
Wow.
Loved it.
I lost my mind. I went and I couldn't believe it. So we were going to Disney World, me and a friend, just age 32.
Love Disney World.
Because it's incredible and the happiest place on earth.
I went at 40 and 42.
Were you charmed?
No, but I made this thing, you know, where I took every kid when they turned 5.
Shut the fuck up. No, you didn't.
I did.
On like a solo trip?
Yeah, the first one was me and, well, the first 2 were so close, so me and the 2 of them alone in Disneyland.
Wait, what, California?
Yeah, and they were like, jet lag. I'm like, it doesn't exist. Let's go. And so that's why they don't believe in jet lag.
Oh my God.
I went alone with them. Then when the second one turned 5, we went again. And then when the baby turned 5, we went. And by then the others were much older. And then I went again.
Oh my
love
God,
it.
you are mum of the year.
No, I love it. But I mean, you have to do those things, like taking your kid out of
Yeah,
school.
you fucking do. Yeah, you do. But we
Yeah.
didn't do those in my family.
Yeah, but I don't know. I wish I could say it was for the kids. Last night I saw Despicable Me 4 in the theater. I made everyone go.
Was it incredible?
Not really.
Oh, that's a
but
shame.
you know,
I do like the character of Gru though. It's brilliant.
I love the
Minions.
Mukielo Mata. I love them. But I just was like, that's what
I
we're
did
doing.
not have you pegged for a Minion stan.
I love the Minions. All my kids' ringtones are different Minions.
Stop.
Yeah. Yeah. There's one that goes, bottom, bottom. That's one of the kids. But it's like you have to go. Despicable Me 4 is on. What are we doing? So I cooked dinner.
No, I get it. Yeah.
Fed them, and we went, and the guy forgot to turn off the lights.
In the cinema?
Yeah, I was like, this fucking guy. So I was complaining, and my husband had to come from work and go to this movie, and he was.
So you left the cinema to complain?
No, I told him. I said, what's happening? The light. I made so much chun-chun about the light. He's like, I'll go deal with it. Then he went and spoke to the guy, and he came back. He said he told me he forgot. I said to him, he needs to be fired. And Jakob was like, just settle down.
He doesn't need to be fired. He forgot.
It's his job. Light on,
That's
light off.
part of his job. It's part of his job.
And what's the other part of the job?
Also, loading up the film, doing tickets, cleaning the popcorn stuff out.
I'm sorry, this was not his home cinema. There was many people there working.
Once, that happened to me once in Basingstoke at the View. The lights came on in the middle of the film. Someone clearly leant against the switch, and no one in the cinema went. And I was 13, and I went. And I told
there
I
you
was
go.
the hero of the screen.
You were, and that's the point.
Yeah, it felt really good actually.
Turn off the fucking lights. What are you doing?
I need to see Despicable Me 4.
It's good. I mean, you gotta see it.
I mean, this is my summer to do it because I'm like, I'm in Edinburgh for 5 days, but like, I'm not really doing it. So I'm like, this is my summer to have a summer.
Yeah, I'm going to see Wolverine and Deadpool in IMAX alone because no one in the family will go.
Sunil just went. Apparently it's just okay.
But Sunil thinks everything is just okay.
No, he loves John Wick.
I think
And videos of men flying planes.
All right, well then, if you love John Wick, you're not going to love Deadpool and Wolverine.
He went to the IMAX.
I'm dying to go to the IMAX and see it.
You've not been to the IMAX before?
I have, but not
Okay,
to see
that's
this.
say. I'm going to go see Gladiator 2 there. I'm waiting for the tickets to become available.
I don't know if I want to see that movie because
They
Gladiator was
fight
so
a
good.
rhino.
Oh, then I guess. But, but Gladiator was is one of my seminal films in life. So I can't watch these two guys trying to. I'm like, what are you doing?
But a rhino?
That's fair. That's fair. In the original one, it was a tiger.
I saw it for the first time last year. Gladiator.
Oh,
It's
okay.
really good.
It's so good.
It's really good.
My name is Maximus Decimus. I sound like an algorithm.
What?
Like Decimus and Decimal.
I don't do the math.
Yeah, okay.
I'm sorry.
Decimal is a thing in math.
And I'm just determined to have like a really classy summer holiday. But like, I'm not going away anywhere because I went big holiday at beginning of the year.
Where'd you go?
Mexico.
Nice.
I know. That's a good one, right?
Nice. Yeah, the food's apparently amazing.
Insane. Like insanely, but so rich.
Yeah.
Like it's
I've
like
heard-
too
One of my
hot for
kids
that
went to
rich.
Mexico at the beginning of the year with her friends, and she was like, why does everyone shit on this place? It's so great.
It's who shits on Mexico?
The people are like Mexico.
Americans,
There you go,
Americans,
yeah.
yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like,
but
it's not safe. It's not this. She's like, it was fine.
Yeah, I felt more safe walking around
Yeah,
Mexico
but you're
City
also
than I did
4
in
feet
London.
taller than everyone there.
I am.
At
Okay,
least
that's
4
a
feet.
really fair point. When I got on the bus there, I was like, what the fuck is
I
wrong
know.
with me?
I know. They had to open the roof lights because even their buses are tiny. But you're not going to be scared in Mexico, which is fair.
I remember once being in the Philippines and getting on a jeepney. Like, you know, those like little
grew up
buses and
in-
being like, I just don't
I
fit
love
on the public
jeepneys.
transport.
Well, because you're tall.
I'm such a freakish size to
In
so
those
many
countries,
people.
in those
Yeah,
countries.
but like such a freakish size. Like
I don't know if I would use that word.
the stairs.
Yeah, yeah. But also in Asia, including South Asia, people stare. They go. They just stare, and it's
so
and
true.
I've got unused to it. So, because in India everyone stares, and in India I'm a freakish height, right? So when I would go back to India, the kids would say to me, "Mom, that man won't stop looking at us," and I'm like, "Oh, he's just staring." And then I started noticing people just go. And they're not thinking something else. They're thinking about you. You can tell. And I'm like, just ignore it. But it's something that is a very Asian thing to do. It's
Yeah,
just
it
stare.
is, isn't it?
And here it's like, don't look, don't stare.
But when I was little and we were in Malaysia with my family, like the stairs were good because like
Yeah,
I was
also
seen
with
as
your
an
blonde hair,
yeah, they
yes,
would
they
touch
would
my
have
hair
loved
because it'd
that.
bring gold.
Yeah.
Passed around restaurants. I loved the attention.
know.
And then I grew and I'm with all my like Malaysian cousins, and I look like a fucking weirdo because I'm the youngest of the group apart from my sister. I'm 2 foot taller than everyone, big blonde curly hair. They're like, what the fuck's wrong with that, Bauer?
I know.
And it's embarrassing.
I know, but being a teenager is tough.
It's so tough.
It's so tough.
And I didn't get a trip to Disney. Well, I did when I was 14. My pet, you're going to think this is awful. I planned Disney for my family every single year, and it was always like, no, we're not doing that capitalistic bullshit. I really suffered as a child. I went on lots of really amazing like historical road trips that were really like brilliant that people would be jealous of now, but at the time I just wanted to go to Alicante.
Very boring.
I wanted to go to Alicante with everyone else.
It sounds very boring as a child.
It is. We went to the San Andreas Fault.
Shoot me now.
We drove for 2 days out into the desert where you can't have air conditioning on to see where 2 tectonic plates meet.
So that's the kind of thing my husband, it must be some kind of European thing. That's what he does. I take the kids to Disneyland. I say things like, let's go to Six Flags. Let's do that. Because I just think as a kid, and also as me, I mean, I'm a Philistine, if nothing. Jesus. So it's like, I don't do museums. So the kids are like, oh, Mom, today we have, we'd go somewhere and say, oh, it's museum day. Mom is staying home. I never went. I was like, you want to go to the museum with them? You take them. I'm not going. I don't ask you to come to Disneyland. And also this thing about Disneyland was like when I first got married, like my niece had her honeymoon in Disneyland. Indians love it.
A sweetheart's honeymoon, it's called.
Yeah, and I had things done for her. Like in her room, and because
shut the fuck up.
It was Disneyland, and of course it's your honeymoon. My husband and sort of
did she get the button that says newlywed, and then they get free things
all of
like
the whole time, But sort of in the West, it was like, oh, that's so kitsch, and I was like, why? It's joyful.
Thank you.
It's joyful.
Yes.
I don't think that roar sort of expressed joy, but I'll take it.
No, that's me happy.
Oh, okay.
Did you hear the good news about the Disney summer sailings from Southampton 2025?
No, I don't keep up with it. What is
okay,
that?
No, me neither. Disney cruise ships.
I went on a Nickelodeon cruise with my kids.
Shut the fuck up.
So they could meet iCarly, and then we met Squidward and SpongeBob and Squidward, my favorite cartoon.
Wait, you met Miranda Cosgrove?
Yeah, the kids did.
She's on the boat?
Yeah, the whole Nickelodeon group was there.
Stop.
I knew someone who was big up in whatever, Sony, whatever, and I was like, oh, and they were like, oh, there's this cruise, and I was like, I'll come, and they're like, it's a kids cruise. I'm like, I'll come. But you want to hear a crazy thing? And I'll tell you, this I will tell TrustyHogs. Okay. I had just started this Mirena coil. It's like a progesterone coil. And I've never had synthetic. I had never had progesterone that was synthetic, and the whole time I was like,
what's progesterone?
It's a hormone.
Okay.
That they use when you do birth control. So it's like the pill.
Okay.
But
inside of
it's a coil, and so it's a little bit of this all the time.
Okay.
And my doctor was like, it may not settle, but you'll have to see, and it might like fall out and this and that. And I was like, I gotta go on this cruise. I did not have a good response to it the entire time. I wanted to throw myself off the boat because I had a bad psychological thing. And I remember sitting on the boat thinking,
oh, you can't throw yourself off a Nickelodeon
boat. I was like, I
boat.
can't. I was like, the kids are going to forever associate Nickelodeon with their mom jumping off the side of the boat. And that's bad, losing your mom, but also losing your entire childhood of good cartoons.
Oh my God.
I was like, I got to get off this boat and get this thing out of me. But then when I got back to London, I was like, bro, I wanted to kill myself the whole time. And she was like, oh yeah, the progesterone doesn't settle with you. I'm like, can we get rid of it? So we got rid of it, and I was fine.
Good for you for trying it just before going on a Nickelodeon cruise.
Well,
what a fun choice.
Hello, have you been to the NHS appointment situation? It's hard to get an appointment.
It is. When I go in, you've got to go through everything. Yeah.
And the cruise wasn't going to wait. And I thought, a little bit of hormone, schmormone, what's going to happen? Oh, my goodness.
Also, you had that brain thing of being like, well, this is a great time to try because I'm away. I'll be in the sunshine. I'll be on a boat. Everything. I'll be so distracted.
Get that far. I just was like, get this thing in me. Also, I just want to say for people listening, I know it can be very triggering for people because hormones can make women do crazy stuff. So I'm sorry about that, but it's genuinely.
But women are already mental. Am I right?
Oh my God.
Not like we need any help with that. Crazy bitches. What are we like? What are we like? Running around, taking our wabs out, ruining things for people, making men feel uncomfortable.
I know, having to take hormones just so that we can kind of stabilize our bodies.
Crying all the time. Where's the chocolate? Bleeding from our fannies or not. Either way, we'll chat about it. Should I have a baby? Should I have more? It's all, yeah.
That was such a long time. Should I have more kids?
You've got me.
No.
I would like my trip to Disneyland.
Next time I go, I'm gonna be like, do you want to come?
I would really love that.
Because I think we're kind of due, because the youngest one, you know, I mean, every once in a while, you need to go to Disneyland or Disney World. What's the big deal? Why do people not get this?
I have never agreed with you so much in my entire life.
I mean, just last week, my husband was saying, have you had your annual checkup? And I'm like, no, I feel fine. He's like, no, you got to go once a year. And I was like, I'll go when I feel sick. He's like, then it's too late. And I'm like, oh, come on. But if the mentality is floss your teeth every day, go for your annual.
Oh, no one's flossing every day. Come on, that's
but that's what they
mental.
tell you. That's the thing to do. Go for your annual health check. Why can't we say every 4 years, go to Disneyland or Disney World? I mean, come on.
Because some people don't get it. My parents are like, it's capitalist bullshit and it's busy and it's horrific.
Maybe it's capitalist, but you have Goofy.
One of the best single dads of all time.
Amazing.
One of the absolute best single
guy.
dads of all
Underrated.
time.
Why didn't your parents get into, like, you have Goofy and I don't care.
We went to Changi prison in Singapore and stuff like that. Japanese prisoner of war camps as 10-year-olds. Yeah, that's correct. If you didn't hear that, that's Em in the background saying, fuck.
No, listen, there's no need to bifurcate life like that. There's a place for culture and there's a place for joy. Most cultures quite fucking
And it's
boring,
so
but you
hard
gotta
to
learn.
enjoy your summer holidays at death camps. Like, it's tricky. It's really
I don't know if
tricky.
it's easy to enjoy your Christmas holidays at death camps either. I'm sorry.
No, I don't think you should enjoy any holiday there. I think it's good if you want to learn about it. And yes, it is interesting.
Learning is learning.
But
and
that
joy
is
joy.
different. That is different.
100%.
I really wanted to be one of the families that went to like Alicante in the summer, like south of Spain. All the families from school are going there. Magaluf. Like, oh god, all the cool families, or what it felt like, the cool kids at our school and these twins I went to school with, they'd always go to like Portugal or Menorca or Mallorca. And I thought, like, where is this magical place? They'd always come back with these amazing tans and really chill. And I'd come back with like 20 mosquito bites and an understanding of the ways we can torture different humans to a level that was uncomfortable.
Yeah, but where are the twins now?
Nah, probably thriving in Fleet, still in Fleet.
Thriving in Fleet.
But they're thriving. They're probably happy.
I don't know about that.
The thing is, I whinged about it so long that when I became like 15, 16, we went to Alicante 3 summers in a row. Hated it. I absolutely hated it.
If I was your mother, I'd have forced you to have a good time.
I was at that age where I was like, I want to go. And also, it was more because my sister was into tennis. So we went to like a tennis camp place in Alicante. It was called La Manga. And it isn't like, you can take a bus to the beach, but like every kid there was Tennessee, and I was already like
not Tennessee.
Clearly not Tennessee.
No.
Clearly, like you could tell, like just body wise, like just I
also
had too bigger
interest-wise.
breasts. Like it wasn't gonna happen.
No, but it's not like, oh, here are my huge breasts. I love tennis. You know,
no one.
you were
Have you
like,
seen
I
the
don't like
Olympics?
tennis.
None of them have wabs. None of them.
No, but
to
none
the
of them
point
in
where I'm
any
like, give us
sports.
a chance. Like, do a big-breasted lady week.
Yeah.
Where all of us just try our best.
Yeah.
Running along like this.
No, but I don't. Yeah, but I mean, Olympics. Have you been watching them?
A little bit, yeah. They are fun.
Yeah, they are. But also, I'm like, why?
Oh, go on.
Well, I just feel like all that competing, but you don't have to just be good at the sport. You have to change your entire body, as you pointed out.
Mm-hmm.
You have to change your entire mind. It's like you have to have this goal.
Yeah.
And that's fine. But I just think it's artificial. Now when I was young, I was like, this is real. And now I'm like, it's artificial.
It is real. I listened to a podcast yesterday about the history of the Olympics. Do you know that there used to be artistic categories in it until like the 60s?
Yeah, but that's what I mean. If you're going to compete, then do it across the range.
They
experience.
used to. So they were like originally Greek and they ran for 400 years, the original Olympics.
Yeah.
And then they went away. And then in the early 1900s, a French man was like, why are we not doing this anymore? He brought them back with artistic skills in there as well. Like the best sculptor, the best painter.
We would qualify for best.
I would
for stand-up.
love
If there was
it.
Olympic stand-up, I would want to compete.
But don't we have isn't there like a stand-up international competition?
No, I want it to be in the Olympics.
Yeah, for sure it should be in the Olympics.
Be in the Olympics.
But like,
and I would represent India.
I couldn't represent England. There's so many good stand-ups here.
Well, I would want to. I mean, I'm not saying I'll get selected, but I'd be in the heats and everything.
The heats. I want to be in the heats.
And I'd get to, and we'd have like matching clothes.
We could do the gym kit videos, when they're like paging Dr. Beat, emergent. Oh my God, yes.
And then Snoop Dogg would come and be like, "Cuz," you know what I mean?
Loves it.
And, yeah, and
he
he would
loves it.
He would do a whole section on it.
I don't know why they got rid of the arts ones. They said it was because the artists got upset because they said you couldn't judge it objectively. They were like, it's too subjective to be part of the Olympics.
Oh, come on. In stand-up, we're like, can I be in this competition and win? And then get signed by an agent.
Right.
So obviously we do think it can be.
But it's something crazy. Like, women weren't allowed to compete running more than 200 meters until the 80s. Like, they weren't allowed to go above that.
Yeah, but that's always the way, right? It's like, let's find
But apparently
a way.
it's because one woman in the 60s felt sick after doing 300 meters and they went, none of them can handle it.
No, but it's always like, how can we make sure women don't start to think that
they're equal
and that they're really capable?
But I think it was something like the Athens Olympics or something like that. Something really recent was the first time when men and women were allowed to compete in all the same sports, like the same amount of them. Crazy. Did you see the Turkish shooter guy?
Oh, the guy who just like someone's dad just showed up and was like, that guy?
I got some backstory on him.
Okay, just it better not be. How do you say the word? Libelous?
No, this is from an interview, or
Okay,
like I've had someone told me.
But
this.
But we are talking about the guy who just showed up and was
got
whatever.
second.
Yeah.
I think we talked about him last week because the competition had happened. So in his post interview, they were like, "Oh, like why did you take up shooting so late in life?" He's like, "I got a divorce." And obviously this is going to be like aired all over Turkey. This is going to be like a huge thing. And then they're like, "Oh, if there's anything you could say to your ex-wife, what would you say?" And he's like, "I want my dog back."
But that guy had that energy the whole time.
Just a whole different thing. Like, he's just not there. Like, I doubt he's staying in the Olympic Village. He's got the vibe of a comedian that goes to Edinburgh but stays down by the beach and just comes in for like, there's no way he's staying with the children. Like, there's no way.
Also, he's carrying trauma.
Yeah, he wants his dog back.
Yeah.
But also, how rough for that woman to have the whole country being like, give him his dog back, and she doesn't get a platform to say her story?
I'm sure she'll find a platform.
I hope she does. I mean, write a bloody book, I'd say.
I know. And tell us what he was like.
Right?
Tell us what he was like.
Let's hear all the. No, we don't need to hear the details of our athletes. Actually, there are a couple where I'm like, how, the Beckham documentary when that came out.
Yeah, I only watched it when Netflix would show you stuff, and she'd be like, and she was like, "I'm not posh," and he's like, "Tell the truth, tell the truth." And turns out her dad had a Rolls Royce. I was like, these two I like them now because it's gone 360.
Yes.
Like they were so unbelievably not my type, and now they are. And then their son is married that girl. Oh my goodness, pelts.
Do you not agree?
No, he was a child. He was
Love
18.
is love. Love
Yeah.
is love.
The
Love
heart
is love.
wants what the heart wants. Okay. But also then they had this thing because they've spent their whole life making a brand, and now he's gone and got belts tattooed on him. And it's like, no, that's the wrong brand.
You think he has to stay with the family brand forever?
No, I'm just saying for them it must be like, what? We've worked so hard on this, and now you get this billionaire daughter and you go down that street. I think they've had a lot going on. But also, her dad had a Rolls Royce. Why was she so... Again, it's that class thing where they don't like talking about it.
Yes! But I think she's like trying to say in it, if I remember the interview correctly, she's like, "Oh yeah, we both grew up working class." And he's like, "Tell the truth."
Yeah.
And she's like, "What did your dad drive to school?" And she's like, "Rolls Royce." But she's like, "It's a long story." And I think it's that he worked for a company that drove cars for people.
Right.
I think.
But the whole thing was kind of like, Also, why do you think they made that?
Because speaking for myself, fascinated by excellence. It's like, how do you get to be that good at something? And for him, you just think, oh, he's just really talented. But behind basically all of these incredible talents in sports, there's a really pushy parent.
Oh, yeah.
And you see it with his dad. Like, his dad would film all of his games, go home and watch them, and make him practice corners for days and days and days.
Yeah, but there's no other alternative. Practice makes perfect, and you need... In the life of a child, you need one concerned adult. Look at the Serena Williams and Venus Williams, their dad.
Did you watch that film, King Richard?
No.
That's really good.
I don't like that actor.
Will
The
Smith?
slapping jab.
Because of the hitting?
No. In general. I didn't ever like him. It was just a thing.
Really?
Yeah, that's why Fresh Prince of Bel-Air is like, I can't watch this. Who's this idiot?
He's so good.
No, but I just didn't like him. That can happen.
Yeah,
I just
fine.
didn't like him.
We
In
agree
Fresh
on
Prince of
Goofy, and that's what
Bel-Air,
matters.
I liked the cousin.
Stop it, Carlton.
The one, yeah,
Yeah.
I love Carlton. I loved Carlton.
Such a babe.
I loved him. And I just could never get... The only movie of Will Smith's that I really liked was when he had the dog with him. And it was like a zombie robot movie.
iRobot?
Yeah. And it was a lot to do with the dog.
Yeah.
It was a good dog.
Do you watch The Doghouse?
What's that?
You're going to thank me so much for
on
this.
The internet?
It's on Channel 4.
Oh, okay.
I love the disdain for the internet.
No,
It's on the internet.
And like these, like you watch, like they're full shows on YouTube and they're just...
It is available on YouTube.
Some kind of reality thing. Is this a reality thing?
Yes.
Is it about dogs?
Yes.
Okay, good. Tell me.
Okay, you're going to lose your fucking mind.
Okay, here I go.
So what they do is they introduce you to the dog kennel each time. It's incredible. And it's for dogs that have been like abused or the owners can't take care of them anymore and they're trying to rehome them. And then they bring in like 3 different people each time, sometimes a family, sometimes someone by themselves. And they've got a sad backstory. They've been broken some way and they pair them with a broken dog and they help to heal each other. And you get to hear both their stories, and then they go into
the dogs talk?
Almost.
Oh my
And then they're
God.
in a meeting pen, and they have to get to know each other and see if there's a bond.
Did anyone get bit?
Someone got pushed over. I don't think anyone's been bit. They probably have, but they haven't shown it. And sometimes the dogs do run out of the meeting pen because they're like, I'm not fucking going with that family. That's mental. And they're like, oh, they're a bit skittish. And it's like, no, you're fucking
they
weirdos.
hate these people.
Yeah. But it's I
I must watch
cry
it. I must watch
every single time.
But it has to be realistic. You have to have some dogs that are like, you come near me, I will rip your face
Oh,
off.
yeah. There are dogs that are like, you can't even look them in the eye. They hate men. They hate women. They hate children.
Because by the time I was 10 and a half, because we left the Philippines, I'd been bitten 13 times by different dogs, including our own dogs. So for me, being...
What?
Yeah, I love dogs, but I had no respect for the fact that dogs may not love me.
Oh, you were too keen.
Yeah, I was always like, hey, doggy. And also this was in the Philippines and people didn't fix their dogs at all. Like in India, we don't. And so the dogs had full emotions. And there would be these gates and their noses would be out. And I would stick my hand in to say, oh, hi, doggy. And sometimes so many things would happen to that hand. And
so you've been bitten 13 times?
13. And I remember the last couple of times because you had to get a rabies shot because not everyone, because there's rabies in the Philippines. Yeah. My mother used to say to me, if you get bitten by a dog, that's going to be the good part of your day. Don't come home. So I was very scared because she was so fed up. And she used to say, why?
1 second. Break that down for us.
No, but she used to say, you have to be careful with dogs. And I never was. And so she got fed up. So she started saying, if you go out in the park and you get bitten by a dog, that's going to be the best part of your day because you should not come home. You see what I will do to you. So I was always very scared.
No, little Sindhu got bitten and then come home and Mummy yell.
Yell?
Oh, that's so frightening. Oh, I did not like that.
Oh, I wish. No, not yell. But it's fine. She's my mom. She loved me. She also made it very clear what would happen.
Yeah, for sure. You knew, yeah.
So I would wait. I wouldn't tell anyone until my dad got home. And I'd be like, Dad, I got bitten. And he'd be like, oh, okay, let's go to the hospital. And I'd get to the hospital. And the last 4 or 5 times, the nurses, because it was a local hospital, would be like, oh, dog bite, get in there. They literally knew why I was there.
Stop it.
And I didn't used to cry because Mommy would be so mad. But it was also, I was also taking the piss a bit, by going up to dogs I didn't know. Mm-hmm. But I was very attracted to, I just love dogs. Anyway. So
but that didn't put you off because I've been bitten once by a dog and it really it's
so scary.
For like a year I was a bit like, oh, I don't know. And it was growling. But it sort of like, it yapped and then it started, and I was trapped. It was like horrible.
I think I do remember if from a great distance, like I learned to figure out if a dog was obviously going to bite me, then I would walk away eventually. In the beginning, it was all like, oh, I'll win this dog over, a bit like I was with men.
Yeah.
I'll fix this.
I'm charming. How could they not love me?
No, and also, oh, really? I'll make it better. And thankfully, I dropped that and stopped getting bitten by dogs. I dropped that whole philosophy, I think. But then the ones that didn't show those signs because they were reasonably well-adjusted dogs, but did not want a kid to come up and be like, I also was very forward with them. I'd be like, look at the nose. And they'd be like, ah! I never did the thing where you show the back of your hand. And no, I'd be like,
like,
look at your
love me.
No, I used to do this.
No, you
yeah.
well, obviously you're
Exactly.
gonna get bitten. Jesus,
That's
you
why
were
now
asking
you're on
for
my
it.
mom's side.
I'm with your mum, 100%.
I know. And I own it.
Sleep outside, not in the house tonight.
no.
Easy.
No, not well. I would not go in the house and tell her. I used to just hold it, the thing like this, and go and wash it in cold water. I mean, how I didn't get rabies, I don't know. But anyway,
Wow.
I know. So if I watch Doghouse, I want to see someone getting bitten. Come on.
It's
But they won't
UK
show it.
TV Channel 4.
Yeah.
They won't show it because no one will want to adopt these dogs.
Yeah, but
I'm
also
sorry.
the dog can be fine. There are people who are stupid.
You can't show it. It's Channel 4.
It's so crazy. Channel
TV.
Channel 4 will show you a show where you can see all the bits. You know, that one where they choose
Naked Attraction.
They'll show you that, but they won't show a person getting nipped by a dog. What bullshit.
I would love it if you watched Naked Attraction. Do you watch it?
No.
Oh my God.
I just was like, I don't.
It's really boring. After the first 10 minutes, you're like, okay, yeah, there's.
But there's a lot of. I've never seen Kardashians. I don't watch reality TV. And I've heard Kardashians, my kids watch it. But then again, I've never watched Sex and the City. There's many shows I've never
watched Sex and the City
Yeah,
either.
I just the concept of it. I was young, and when it came out, and the concept of it, I was like, this is idiotic.
But I'm also not having Sex in the City, so why would I want to watch it,
No, but 4 women, and it's supposed to be about...
Yeah, show about 4 women, am I right?
No, it was...
Chuck a man in!
No, it was more like, oh, this is such a sort of girl power, and all they talked about was their relationships.
That's all there is. That's all we have.
Fuck that.
That's all we have.
No, I didn't like that. I haven't watched Kardashians. I haven't seen Naked Attraction. What reality TV have I seen?
This is sexist that neither of us have seen Sex in the City, but I did watch the whole of Entourage.
I haven't even seen that.
It's really good.
What have I seen all of? Oh, House and Law and Order SVU.
House is the one where he's a doctor.
And he's so hot.
And he's so good.
He's so hot.
He's such a good doctor.
No, he's crazy, but he's hot. I've always had the hots for him. Not when he was Bertie in the Worcester
Hugh
stuff.
Laurie, is it?
That's the name.
Wow.
Not when he was in Blackadder. But now as House.
It's hard
because
to
also
get
he's
turned on by funny.
I know.
It's
well,
tricky.
no, that kind of funny. But also he's on Vicodin. That's so attractive.
What's Vicodin?
It's an opioid.
What's an opioid?
It's a drug. It's heroin.
He takes heroin on screen as a doctor?
Yes.
You mustn't.
He does. And that's what's so great about him. He's very broken, but he's a genius.
What does the heroin do to him?
Have you not, when you have an injury, like in America, here they say go home, take paracetamol. In America they say
or ibuprofen.
Or ibuprofen.
We're not favouring either brand.
Yeah, or ibuprofen. In America they just give you Vicodin, which is like an opioid.
Is that why they've got that opioid crisis for people who are super addicted?
That's not exactly why, but it's close. And so if you're like me, you say no to the Vicodin because 2 of those and it's never stopping.
Wow,
makes you feel good. Yeah.
Like in what way? Like brain good.
Like high.
But like ecstasy, like a rush of happiness.
But then it's very addictive.
Oh no.
Oh yes, that's why. I'm
not doing it.
No. If there was opioids that weren't addictive, I'd be all over that. Who doesn't want to feel good?
I feel like I got addicted to melatonin.
By the way, I'm not saying people should do drugs. Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs. Do not put even if you need it, don't take it.
No, don't take I've never done drugs. I smoked weed once. I was 24 years old in Montreal and I thought all the dogs in Quebec were coming to bite me. And my friends had to lock me up. My friends had to lock me up and then all I did was eat. And I was paranoid and they said don't ever smoke weed again, and that's the only drugs I've done.
Smoking weed is awful. I tried to get into it for years and years and years, but now I like gummies.
Yeah, I don't do drugs. I'm not suggesting you do. I'm just saying if I had taken Vicodin, I'd be an addict.
Sick. Love that for you. It's good self-awareness.
Yeah.
You just know where your line is.
Oh, yeah.
I was a drug addict at the age of 4. So we've had to be very careful with me. My mum found me. I'm sure I told this on the podcast many times.
What drugs were you taking?
She found me passed out by the window in our house, having drunk a bottle of Calpol because I really liked the taste. And she was like, oh my, and it was literally the scene of a child, just little dress, just empty bottle rolled out. But luckily she took me straight to the hospital. She was like, oh my God, we've got to pump her stomach. Yeah. But it turned out 4-year-old me insisted on using the spoon, but had none of the ability to do it. So I spilt most of it whilst trying. Instead of chugging it, I was like,
that's a crazy, you cannot meet my youngest, as I've told you. When she was very young in nursery, and she may mind me telling this story, but it's not a bad story. She was in nursery. She had a play date, and I could hear them, and then suddenly I couldn't hear them, and that's always a sign.
Yeah.
And I went, and she had asked me, Mama, can I eat crackers with my friend? And I'd said yes, and I'd taken out the crackers. She had taken her friend into the bathroom and had spread the crackers with baby Nurofen, like the liquid, and said, this is delicious. This kid had no idea, had never, like, was a normal single, she was a only child, so no. And my kid was sitting there and eating crackers with, like, instead of marmalade, with the baby ibuprofen, Nurofen syrup. I had to call the mom.
How do you say that?
Well, first of all, the biggest thing you can't do is lose your shit the way you would if your kid was alone, because there's another kid.
True.
So I was like, oh, don't do that. And because it was so artificial of me, my kid got scared. She thought I was having a psychotic break.
Mum's not screaming.
No, Mom's not screaming, and Mom is smiling like this is going to go badly for me. So she put the cracker away. And I asked, how much have you eaten? And the little girl who was visiting had no idea. She's like, yum, yum. I'm like, okay, put that away. And I just looked at my kid, and I was like, that's not a very nice thing to do. And I think my kid was like, can I go home with you? Like, to the other kid, can I never come back to this house? Then I had to call the other mom, and, you know, this is my third kid, but this is that mom's only child, and be like,
Oh, God.
Nothing bad has happened. You always start. By the way, mothers, never call another mother and then start giving some long-ass story. Get to the point. And the point is everyone's safe. Everyone's alive. However,
Your child has ingested.
I said there's, your kid has had some baby Nurofen syrup on a cracker. So the good news is it's with food, which is important for ibuprofen. She was like, what? I'm like, ibuprofen is very bad for your liver on an empty stomach. So she's had it with food. But I'm sorry, it's unnecessary. And my kid thought it tasted good because it was strawberry flavor.
But I'm with your kid. The Calpol had strawberry flavoring in it too. It tastes magical.
Then sit and have your own sandwich with it. Why are you feeding it to another kid? Anyway.
Because sharing's important.
Well, anyway.
Always share with other kids.
Yeah, sharing is caring. Anyway, that mom was pretty chill about it, actually.
Oh, that's good.
I was scared.
I think the fear of a parent having to call another parent to, like, say that something's happened is, like, such a big deal.
Yeah. No. Especially on your watch.
We played so roughly in my house. Like, and I was aware that we were, like, a rough play house. Like, because we always looked off. Like, we always had, like, stains, and, like, hair was a bit, like, we would, like, you could tell that, like, something.
You were, as my mother would say, rough and tumble happy children.
There we go.
Rough
I went
and
to Tumble Tots, and I bloody loved it.
I also loved Tumble Tots.
Tumble Tots
The
is
kids
so
loved
good.
it. And I used to love it because I could do other shit, and they would just be tumble totting.
Oh,
and they couldn't
Tumble
hurt
Tots.
themselves.
Oh, for anyone who's international, Tumble Tots is
Like a
the
soft
best
play.
thing in the world.
Soft
They just take a village hall and just cover it in soft play stuff, and parents just chuck kids
Literally
in and
chuck.
have a coffee. It's
Yeah.
brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So you were a rough and tumble.
We were rough and
children.
tumble, but we had quite a big garden, but we would, like, invent stuff instead of, like, having actual toys with, like, safety procedures. So we were like, this is a great game. So we got my dad to climb up the highest tree and tie a rope around it, and we were like, that's the toy, it's a rope. But, like, we couldn't really, so what we had to do is we had to hold on for dear life. My dad would run back as fast as possible. We'd get flung in the air, and you cannot let go of the rope because you will die.
You will die.
And that was the one rule. But then, like, we thought it was the best game ever, and we didn't let go of the rope. And then, like, I'd invite girls over from school. One of them let go.
Is she okay?
She fucked up her wrist. My mum had to call and be like, right, here's the thing. We've got this thing
alive.
called ropey. All you have to do is hold on. She panicked and she let go. It's technically on her. Like, it's all. But I remember being so embarrassed the next day at school, being like, do not go to Helen Bauer's house. Dad throws you really high. And I was like, you're fine.
But it's always funny, you know, when you have how households are.
Oh my, yeah, different houses run
And
different
you know,
ways.
sometimes you have to tell your kid who's invited to a certain house, I'll take care of it, but you're not going there. I'll take care of it, but you're not going to their house.
Stop.
Yeah.
Me and Em had a coffee this morning, and we were literally, because I'm like obviously writing like a new show, and I want to talk about like the idea of friendship when you're younger, like being like you friends, your chosen family, but it's not true because you're just friends with people that your parents know or like people you go to school with.
Yeah.
But there was never an option to like not be nice or friends with someone. Like, it couldn't
No, you
fall
can
out.
be. Yeah. No, you can be friends with school. But I
But
don't.
you wouldn't let them go to certain houses.
Yeah, because I know there's trouble.
Rough play.
No, not rough play. Rough play is not the trouble I worried about. No, there was other trouble, and you just think
Wow.
it's not my child's business and it's not my business, but it is my business to protect my child.
Oh, I bet my mum did that as well. I'll
Yeah.
ask her. Because there's things you just never know when you're like
Yeah.
growing up. That you're like, I wonder if I was ever like.
But also you have an instinct and you think, I'm not
For
going to be
sure.
judgy, but I'm just going to avoid the potential because I've seen or heard
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And that was always hard because in India, when we were growing up, if your mother said no, it was no. Here, the children, both because I think it's in the water here, they will question you.
Oh, for sure. I love questioning my parents.
And they're young.
To this day still.
Yeah, but now you're older. They're young and they say, why? And the first time that happened to me, I was like, sorry? And they were like, why? I'm like, because I said it. And they were like, no. And I remember one of my son's friends said to him, she can't do that. He was like 7 or 8. He said,
Stop at 7 or 8?
Yeah, he came home and said, what was this kid's name? I can't remember his name. He said, Ollie. Ollie says, you can't do that. You can't just say because I said it.
Oh.
And I said, well, but I was like, well, you have to tell Ollie that's how it works in this house. And he said, no, Mom. But he was also, my child, he was very innocent.
Yeah,
He
he's
was
trying to
young.
figure out where the line is and like where the rules start.
Yeah,
and
and
end.
so then I said, listen, I don't know about Ollie's mom, but I'm this mom and this is your house. This is your family. So he said, well, then what? I said, well, you can pack a suitcase and go and see if someone, other family will take you where you can question, but this is what this house is. So he said, I don't want to leave this house. I said, then there's the rules. It's fine. So he was fine. But when they're a little bit older and you say, you can have that friend over. And they say, well, can I go there? And you say, no. And then you have to sit them down and say, you cannot tell your friend I said that because it's going to be very hard. So we're going to have to lie. You're going to have to say you have a dental appointment and you can't go, and we're going to and I'll take care of it. I'll eat it. I'll bring up the stories, but you can't go there.
Wowza.
You can be friends with them in school because the thing is, as a parent, and it was very rare, but you think you have to have a lot of compassion for that family as well.
Yeah.
You know, that you don't, like if something was to happen or something weird, they would also be very upset. But not everyone can, and I'm not talking about rough play or bad
No,
food.
I'm now thinking people were probably like, don't go to the bowers.
No, but this had to be big.
Yeah, okay.
This had to be big, you know? And like for example, if there's a family where when the children are very young, they let them play and the only person supervising is their sibling who's a year older and the parents think it's fine to go out. I'm like, I can't have that because I can't hold another child
Your
responsible.
kids would not have come to the bowers.
No, but how much older was...
2 years older.
yeah, but, you know, I also think my mom left us all the time. But I just...
She wouldn't necessarily like leave us, but she'd be working. My mum would like run the drama school in the house. And then
No,
I'm
talking about parents leaving and then being like not being in the house.
Oh, not being anywhere close.
and when
yeah.
the oldest child is 8.
Oh,
they're
that's little. Yeah,
They're
that's
little.
little.
And I also feel for that oldest child to be like it's a kid.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, no, come to my house. We'll all be around.
I've seen episodes of Super Nanny like that, where the like oldest kid is left to do all the childcare, and it's really sad because they can be like
cool.
10 years old and they're like raising children. And it's like,
cool.
oh my god, and it's like huge in this. I'm obsessed with this IBLP cult, which is IBLP, the Institute of Basic Life Principles. It's
a cult.
It's a cult. It's a Christian thing. But it's like you can see it on this show called 19 Kids and Counting, which was a reality show when we were growing up.
Yes.
But now a couple of the kids are like grown up and out of it and like writing their own stories
Is it
and their
American?
own books. Mm-hmm,
Yeah, and is this where one of the boys,
is in jail?
yeah, the son did stuff to his sisters? Oh, yes.
But which
yes.
is incredibly common in that cult.
Of
like
course.
the sexualization of young girls. And being, don't look, don't think about your sister's tits, don't think about your sister's tits. Then obviously that like...
And also when it happens, then cover it up and tell the girls
it's
your brother.
Horrendous. Their dad, who was seen as this like perfect father, or was portrayed as this perfect father, went on the stand and said, I've got no memory of him doing anything. And it's like, you're just pretending you don't remember any of your daughter's sexual assault. It was horrendous. What was I going to say about the IBLP though? It was going to be very droll.
Just about them and they're writing their own stories, and we were talking about childcare.
Yes. So the what do they call it? Parentification of young children. It's like a massive thing there, because the idea is you have as many children as God blesses you with. I can't even say it. It's so fucked. So like the women are like puppy mills, right? Like chucking out. But then because they've got like 19 kids, like the older, it's always the daughters have to then raise the younger siblings, and they're called buddies. But like they're from the age of 9, they're raising babies instead of getting an education. And it's like, oh my fucking God.
Yeah. I mean,
crazy.
In India, you don't even have to be in a cult.
It's just like parentification's just done.
A lot of it. Not in my family, but in my parents' families, cousins, I mean, it's... And
it's so different to being like protective and taking care of a younger sibling. It's a totally different thing.
You're the parent.
Yeah. You're cooking, you're cleaning,
you're cooking, you're cleaning, and also all of your needs are like a parent's needs. When I had children, I didn't need to sleep, but I was an adult who chose to have those children. In these situations, your parents are fucking, producing children, you're a child, and then your needs don't count. You stay up at night, you change diapers. It's not just this IBLP. It's, I think, a lot of systems, all patriarchal, in which family and hierarchy are very closely joined. And
this is literally what IBLP is. It's like the umbrellas of protection. You are under the head of the household, which is the father.
Amen.
And you're under his protection until you get married. And then you are under his protection. But like, you are all under the umbrellas of authority.
And also the big umbrella is God, who is a
man. As he bloody should be. As he bloody should be.
I don't know about that. Listen, I don't know about that.
Hello, Hogs. It's me, producer Andrew. I am obviously lurking in the shadows very often, but I do also perform stand-up comedy. So come see me in the spotlight. I'm at the Edinburgh Fringe, 20th to the 24th of August. And then I'm going on a mini tour around Brighton, Bristol, Manchester, London, Exeter, Portsmouth, Bournemouth, Salisbury, all those places, some of which are very far away and I have very little audience in. So please come and support me. Birmingham as well. There we go. standupandrew.com/tour for all my dates and Edinburgh. Thank you.
Hello, young hogs, hoglets, as it were. Are you on the internet? Have you heard of YouTube? Well, same, just recently. So, if you would like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, or Helen Bowers' YouTube channel, or Andrew White's YouTube channel, then boy oh boy would we notice and be glad. Have you seen it on there? There's so much stuff.
Join us on the YouTubes.
For all of its complications, at least Hinduism has goddesses.
Yay! Favorite goddess?
I don't know probably Parvati.
What's her thing?
Parvati is one of her forms is, her main form is she's Shiva's wife.
Shiva, the creator?
No, Shiva is the destroyer.
Oh, who's the creator?
Brahma.
Apologies.
That's okay. And Shiva's the one where every time he opens his third eye, an eternity passes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I know. So, but the thing about Parvati that I love so much is that I think she's the only Indian or Hindu goddess who is divine in her own right, not because of her marriage or her father.
Lush.
So she, throughout all the stories and the mythology around her, wants to know. Because in Hinduism, God is really yourself with a capital S. So she is very much...
Wait, I didn't know this. So
divinity is in us. And so that's the whole purpose. Like we say, we want to be liberated. We want to have nirvana. We want to have moksha. It's because we are always here in different bodies to learn that we are ourselves divine, right? Broadly speaking. So
But you still celebrate the gods and goddesses. Like
yeah,
you still make offerings.
Because the
and
mind needs a
pray
form.
to them.
Because the mind needs a form.
Okay.
You know, the thing about the mind is it needs something to look at, to smell, to see. Otherwise, how do you bring your attention anywhere?
Yeah.
So all of these forms are for our attention, so that if you keep on seeing this divinity, that's how your focus will ever be on divinity.
And you can pray to a certain god or goddess to bring out the divinity you so desire or
Yeah,
wish.
you can pray for money, you can pray for education, you can pray for fertility, but it's to focus the mind on the fact that there's divinity everywhere and also inside. The thing about Parvati is, because she's herself divine, she's a female who shows up and says, I want myself to know myself. I don't need a man. I don't need a husband. I don't need a father. I am sui generis, able to understand what is my divinity. And all her stories are about that. And that's what I like about her, because it's, in a way, the most equal relationship. And when in one of the songs, Guru Gita, when she sits at Shiva's feet and he's a renunciate.
Yeah.
And she decides she wants to marry him, and she's very stunning, so she dances, and he's always in meditation like this. And then she gets the god of love and lust to come and put his arrow
What's
on
his name?
Kama. And to put his arrow. And as he's about to pull the arrow, Shiva opens his eyes and burns him to dust and says, you should know better. I am in stillness.
Shut the fuck up.
And she's like, oh, damn, that didn't work. But because she's divine, she has all these powers. And finally...
Turning people into dust?
Well, she didn't. He did. Yeah, he does. He just gets angry like that. He also wears a garland of skulls. He's like on his own trip. Anyway.
Yeah, he is.
But finally, you know what she falls in love with about him?
What?
When he finally opens
his abs? No, sorry.
When he finally opens his eyes, because she has sat there forever and says, okay, you know what? I accept you. Like, I accept you to be my wife. You've shown that you're not. You know what she says? No, I want to learn the meaning of stuff. That's what I want. I've gone past all the other stuff. I want to learn what is God? What is divinity? Teach me that. And so she meets him right there. And like, he's all about like, oh, you're hot and you should be my wife. She's like,
But she advocates for herself.
Yeah, and she's like, I want to have the knowledge that everyone says you have. Here. And that's amazing about her. The other thing, and I don't know how much time we have, but I'll tell you the story.
No, tell me.
You're going to love this story.
We'll do problems in the extras. Fuck it.
You're going to love this story. So then they marry, right? And here's a story that my mom used to tell me, and I used to read in the Indian comic books, and I always thought, she's the bomb. She's the bomb. Mm-hmm. Is that they got married, and it was huge because he'd finally accepted her, and they were very happy. And then he had gone to war or gone to do something once, and she lived in his palace. So it was their palace, their home, and all the guards and everything were all like, oh, Lord Shiva, he's our boss, you know, and you're his queen, and it's great.
Must be really difficult to be married to like the destroyer. Like just like plates and cups and stuff.
That too. And also he gets angry, that makes people anxious.
That's it. I'd hate to work in the destroyer. Like I love her, but like I think it would be tricky to like clean up after that.
No, but they had help.
Okay, good.
Yeah, because they were like kings and queens as well. Anyway, so she's going to have a bath. And she thinks to herself, every time I go to have a bath, I want my privacy. But if my lord, husband, comes home, the guards always let him in because they're like, it's his house. Mm-hmm. But sometimes I just want my own space, you know. So she says, I need someone of my own who just sees me.
Yeah.
So she takes uptan. Uptan is a thing we make with like water, rose water, a bit of turmeric, a bit of chickpea paste, and we usually do it to like clean ourselves.
Okay.
So she does that, and she does like this with her body, and she gets all that, you know, grime off.
Yeah.
And she makes a little boy, and she breathes life into him because remember, she's divine. So she has that power. She breathes life into him, and he's a little boy, and she says, you're my son, and you're just my son. I'm going to have a bath, and don't let anyone in. And she doesn't tell him anything else. And he says, sure, Mom. Cool. So he goes. And
he's just fine with it. He's just like, no questions.
No questions.
He's not hungry.
I told you in India we don't say why to parents. We already.
Just like, oh, hi, I've just been bored. Okay, cool. No, you have a bath.
So she gives him all of what he needs. And he's there. And she's having a bath. And then Shiva comes back. Okay. And he says, hello to all the guards. And he's about to go in. And this little boy says, my lord, my mother is bathing. You cannot go in. And he's like, who are you? Like, what, move out of the
She
way.
didn't tell me she had a fucking son.
Yeah, exactly. And he says, he keeps calling her my mother. And he's like, all right, fine. Get out of the way. And the kid says no. He says, I can't. It's my mother's word. And her word is everything. And he says, I'm Shiva. I am her husband. I'm this. He's like, sure, but it's her word. And then all kinds of things start happening. A war is waged. But this boy has so much power that this is mythology. But
Still.
yeah, but then Shiva gets more and more angry, and his armies. Meanwhile, she's having a very long bath. Okay.
Yeah, I was about to say, like, she's enjoying the soak.
Yeah, but she also has. You know what we talk about manifestation, intention. She has full belief in her son and her love for her son and her power to have someone who just sees her.
Okay.
Full thing goes on. Doesn't work. Shiva gets
Wait, the war happens while she's in the
bath.
tub?
In the bath. It's all going on. It's a mythology story, all right?
Yeah.
But the boy, even though he's very gracious, he's unbeatable. He's like, you can't go in. And then at some point, he turns his back and Shiva comes from the back and cuts off his head. To win, to be able, and he says, there you go, now I can go in. And at that moment, Parvati comes out and she says, that was treachery. And he says, oh, come on, this boy, and, I don't know what you were doing, or whatever argument they have. And she says, that was my son. And you are prayed to by the mortals as God, and you were so treacherous. And she said, these people that pray to you, because of whom you are so great, you and Vishnu and Brahma, you're frauds. You wait and see what I do to them, because I am also God, because she's divine. So she puts plague on human beings. All the temples they go to, there's just plague and sickness. And people are like, oh, Shiva, oh, have you forsaken us? And he can do nothing. And she just sits back. And she's like, you are treacherous. You killed my boy. With treachery.
Oh,
because your ego
God
as a god is this, I'll show you. Not one person is going to believe in you. And in that form, she's Devi. And no one knows what to do. Finally, Brahma shows up.
The creator.
And he goes to Shiva and he's like, it is a shit show down there.
Yeah.
People are losing faith in us. What is going on?
People are throwing up in the street and pooing everywhere. The
and
plague
dying.
is a nightmare. Yeah.
Yeah, and also you're domestic. And where is your ego? And Shiva says, I didn't realize. He's like, what did you not realize? You killed that boy with treachery and you expect to be held up in respect?
Never decapitate a boy.
From the back.
Never.
No, but if you're in a war, it's a war. But I mean, the boy was a soldier, fine. But she said, if you had beaten him fair and square. Anyway, Brahma goes to her and he begs her. And he's Brahma and Vishnu. They all say, please, please, please. And she says, the three of you, men, you think this is what is to... No. And he says, I will bring your boy back to life.
Yay, Brahma.
Yeah. And she says, and because she's a mother, that's really what she wants.
Yeah.
And so he goes to Shiva and he says, look here, dude, get in the forest and the first animal you see, bring me its head because I need a head.
Oh, no.
And Shiva goes in the forest and the first thing he sees is a one-tusked elephant. And that is why you have Ganesha. He is the god of all new beginnings and auspicious starts.
Oh, my God.
And that's him. And so you always have Shiva, Parvati and Ganesha there.
There's a little family unit.
They're mother, father.
Did
Ganesha is Shiva's and Parvati's son.
Not that it's any of my business what happens in their marriage, but did Shiva and Parvati stay together?
They did,
that?
and they have another son,
Really?
Kartikeya. They have another son, Kartikeya.
God, I think that'd be tricky to stay together after that.
But she taught him a lesson, and he begged.
Yeah, it's a lesson taught, but I think it'd be hard to move on, to get back in bed with him. I'd be like, oh, fucking.
Yeah, I don't know what the gods and goddesses did, but they stayed together.
Some people are better at forgiveness.
Yeah.
I think it's the lesson.
And also, I think she was like, bitch, I showed you.
Yeah, I mean, she did, but
and no offense to any Hindus listening to this. Obviously, she didn't say that. That's my language. Sorry.
Yeah, just to check, did then Ganesha have a good relationship with Shiva, with his dad?
Yeah, I mean, he was always like, my mom's pretty great and you're okay.
Yeah, I think I'd feel super awkward around my dad after that.
No, he was fine.
Really?
Yeah, because in Hinduism, it's all cyclical. So everything that happens is so that we learn something so that next time we're better. But that's why I love
the Bible, man.
That's why I love Parvati.
I like her too.
And she is, so the two forms in human...
I do think the bath could have been a bit shorter.
Yeah, but
if I'm honest. And I do think a plague to all humankind.
No, but she was trying to. But she
bit
gave. But
extreme.
listen, she gave Shiva so many chances.
She did
to back
she
away.
did. Oh man.
And here was all of humanity saying Shiva and Brahma and Vishnu are so great, and she was like, "Are they though? For ego, you kill a child from the back?
Not nice. Not nice.
And that's how come we have Devi. Like for us, goddesses are a big deal because we're like, yeah, you know. So we have Devi and we have Shiva and Shakti.
Who's Shakti?
That's what we call. That's the sort of
The Trinity.
form. No, that's a form of Uma. That's the female energy. So in all tantric, you have Shakti and Shiva, the male and the female energy. Always. There's no life without male and female.
Interesting. Have you read the Bible?
So many times I went to a Catholic and I went
It's
to
not
another.
as good, is it?
It's different.
It's really
The Abrahamic
different.
religions are different.
Yeah, but it's like, it's not as fun. I don't think anyone has a bath.
No, but there's
The
not mythology.
Bible.
But the Greeks had mythology. That was fun.
That's it. When you were saying all that,
Like
I was
Zeus
like, this
and
is
this
so
and-
Greek. Because
yeah.
but then it's like, there's no really good relationships in Greek mythology apart from Hades. Who's Hades' wife? The one that like he takes her to the underworld, but the
Yeah.
agreement is like, you have to come and live in the, not Persephone. Oh, it is Persephone. Boom. Fucking genius, Sam.
Yeah.
But like, they like,
And
at
with
least they make a
glowing
deal
skin.
that she gets to leave for like half the year and live above ground and get light. Like that's sort of like a little bit of an equal.
We have so many of those as well, like the sad ones. But there's always something to learn. I know. Because as I was
I
saying
want
to
to get
someone,
into it. Is there a book I can read that will tell me everything?
I don't know if I'll take everything, but I'll start telling you something.
The hits.
Yeah. Top hits.
What are the hits? I want Hanuman.
I'm going to.
What's Hanuman's deal?
Hanumanji, he's the son of Anjani, Vayu, wind is a female in Hinduism.
Great.
So her name is Anjani and he's Anjani Putra. And his father, believe it, Putra is son.
Okay.
And we only ever hear who is his mother. We never hear who's his father. Because as in a lot of Hinduism, you can only really know your mom.
Also, if you can just be like,
Yeah.
there's my baby.
There's my
Like,
baby.
you don't need it. Yeah.
No, but ultimately you can only really trace the truth of who is your mother. You can do a DNA test for your father, but
Yeah.
so
But
we really have that mother energy.
Hinduism's so cool, man.
It is cool. It's got lots of things that are not cool. It depends what you focus on. I suppose like in Christianity, if you think about St. Francis of Assisi and the very spiritual side of it, then you get away from the kind of more sociologically complicated parts.
Yeah. Well, it's a good chat.
Yeah.
A lot to think about. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
I'm going to give you a book
Can you actually?
of like stories. There's a kid's book of like Hindu stories. And then you can start saying, oh, there's Hanumanji and this. But the thing with Hanuman is he's...
I went to his temple.
Oh,
There's so many monkeys.
so many. And they just hang around. Everyone's like, yep, that's what you're doing.
They're really cool.
Yeah.
It was like, was it in Hampi? So
Must
pretty.
be. They're everywhere.
Oh my God, I love it.
I'm going to Delhi on Sunday. And I'm
Stop!
Yeah, but
I'll come.
please. And I'm definitely going to the Hanuman temple there. Yes.
Oh my God, I've got to end the episode, but can we just keep talking in the extras? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We'll just keep talking in the extras.
okay,
So you can
so-
join us on Patreon, but like, just plug yourself.
Oh, what?
Plug yourself.
No. Hi, I'm Sindhu. Like, what do you want me to say? I don't.
You know Sindhu. She's already been on.
All
Follow
right,
her
okay.
on Instagram. Go see her live.
Do you have a big audience in the U.S.?
I think we've got American listeners. I don't know how big
All
it
right,
is.
listen, American listeners, I'm coming on tour, man. I'm coming in October.
To Target?
I'm going to go to Target, but I'll tell you where all I'm going, and then please buy tickets and come and see me. It's called Sindhu Vee Live, and I'm going to be
What a name.
11th of October, Vancouver, 12th, San Francisco, 13th, Houston, 17th, Miami, 18th, Washington, D.C., 2 shows in New York on the 19th, 20th, Austin, 25th, Atlanta, Philadelphia on the 26th, and I'll end in Toronto on the 27th. Please come. It's a second part of the tour. It's actually a different tour, but that was Sindhu Vee Live in March. I hope you came, and this is going to be other stuff, and it's in October, so please come. And
I want to be in the States. That sounds really cool.
it's going to be fun. And also, it's so close to elections.
That's going to be tense.
It's going to be tense. Kamala Harris.
So then
is,
go see Sindhu. Go see Sindhu.
Yeah.
Break the tension. Have some time off.
Yeah, Kamala Harris
She's a
is half.
very chill presence on stage.
I am, and I don't talk about politics. But just one thing, Kamala Harris is half to million, and so am I.
Yes.
Indeed.
Thank you, Sindhu Vee. Goodbye. Hey you, I'm talking to you. Why are you not a member of TrustyHogs Patreon already? You can get extra episodes, 145 of them. We've got vlogs, we've got live shows. Come join us on TrustyHogs Patreon.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Are you kidding me?
No, I can't believe I joined in. Please, please join us on Patreon. That's how desperate we are. Please. But like casually, it's like no big deal if not.
Please.
I love that you prefaced that with, I've got this.
I've got so everyone's aware. I've got this.
Wait. What do you get on Patreon? You get 145 extra episodes. You get lots of Helen dancing seductively and sometimes taking her top off. You get all of our secrets and you get much of our shame. It's a bargain.
So join us at TrustyHogs
Join us.
Patreon.com.
Patreon.
Patreon.
a New
How are
York
we
toddler.
saying Patreon? No, but it is patreon.com. Thank you so much.
I thought, does it sound like the Mattress King in that episode of Friends? Hey, I'm the Mattress King. Come get your mattresses.